are listening to the All Burgundy and Gold Everything powered by the Urban Sports Scene and Fox Sports Radio 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. Commanders post-game show. The Commanders fell to the New York Jets 30-28. I'm Wole and joined by my co-host Glenn. What's going on, Glenn?
Not much, man. I'm be honest with you. Woke up at the start of the second half, and I was like, "Oh, dang, down by 20." Okay. I mean, after the Jets scored their first 20, I ain't gonna say I fell asleep on the couch. Yeah, I'll be honest with everybody, but I did watch, so I can talk about the second half.
Okay, but I watched all of it. So I can talk about. I watched all of it. Before we get into the actual game, let's get into our particulars and subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Gold Everything. Also, tweet us at ABG_everything. Hit us up on IG at ABG_everything, and like our All Burgundy and Gold Everything Facebook page. Make sure you subscribe to our All Burgundy and Gold Everything YouTube channel as well. All right, man. First off, Glenn, give me your thoughts on the second half.
No, I get to even the first. What I saw in the first half, the team came out lackadaisical, right? You saw things that this team didn't do under Ron Rivera. This is the worst I've seen this team ever come out at the start of a game, right? They came out dropping footballs on kickoff returns. They came out with the interception. I really don't put on Sam Howell.
Which Logan Thomas? That was Logan Thomas. That was right in your hand. Like, go ahead.
Yeah, that was on Logan Thomas. The tip balls, any tipped interceptions, I never put on a quarterback.
That was right in his hands. That's a different tip. Like, that was a pass right in an accurate pass that you just dropped. But yeah,
I always put on receivers. I put on the receivers. I really do. So I thought the play calling at first was a little too conservative, right? I thought they should have came out and tried to win a football game. We talked about this in the pregame. What Commander team will we get first, right? Will we get a Commander team who's coming out and trying to play and win a football game, or will we get a Commander team who's already packed their bags and go to Cancun, right? And so we got at the beginning of the game, we got a Commanders team that was not focused, it was not ready to play. Again, that is on Ron Rivera. I say it every week. We say it every week. When your team is not prepared to play a football game, that is on the head coach, the assistant head coach. That's on your staff. That is on position coaches. I don't want to just put it on Ron. That is on position coaches, head coaches. Everybody. That's on everybody that's there. Because sometimes you see certain positions can be up and other positions be down, right? We saw what Nick Gates could do early on. Nothing, right? And it gave him no time. Now, even with the second half, they gave Jacoby Brissett a little bit more time. You know what this did? You know what this reminded me of? Remember the years when Mark Rippon had turned the locker room against him? Or not Mark Rippon. Who was my man named? Ramsey.
Oh, Patrick Ramsey.
Patrick Ramsey, where people didn't like him, and you could see that the offensive line.
Or Jeff George. It's them or Jeff George. It was Jeff George. Ramsey, they were just bad with Ramsey.
It was Jeff George, and they didn't like him. And this is what it seemed like to me, that maybe when Jacoby Brissett came in, this team rallied behind him. Makes you think, what else is going on with Sam Howell, where these guys are not playing as effectively for him? And EB called the game different when Jacoby Brissett was in the game, right? The guys blocked a little bit more. Jacoby Brissett went under center a little bit more, right? He was more comfortable. You didn't have the drop steps and didn't have to worry about all that. He was able to get the ball out. Plus, he's bigger too, 6'4". He's a little bit more. He see better, a little bit more physical than Sam Howell. And so again, tale of two halves. Your boy Cody Barton, all I did because think about you was like, but you know what? Should have been a touchdown, but I blame Fuller. I blame those guys because they didn't knock the receiver out the way. The guy, when you first get a pick, right? Somebody in your team get a pick. The first beeline is the guy who's closest to the football. Nobody ever stopped the receiver. Cody Barton got caught. Right, he got caught. Shows you how slow he is because he got caught. There was nobody in the realm of Cody Barton. Cody Barton should have scored, but he got caught. Nonetheless, they still scored that drive. It wasn't wasted. Jacoby Brissett comes in. Even that interception, right? I do not put on Sam Howell, not because
because he fell on the route.
Yeah, because he fell on the route. Because Curtis Samuel fell, hit his foot. If you look at the ball, it hit the hands of Curtis Samuel and kind of bounced back up into the defender's hands. So again, a lot of the interception, of course, is going to go down as an interception. It is what it is. Right. Sam Howell did not play well at all. I'm not giving him a pass. He didn't play well at all. Jacoby Brissett blew life into this football team, and I will get to it. But I do think Jacoby Brissett should get an opportunity to start for this football team in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. First of all, let's talk about actually we have a comment from George on Facebook. George said, "Hello, amigos. I hate to say it, but Sam problem is he's too short. And it's starting to show. And it's starting to show.
He's short.
Yeah. He's too short. Sorry. Yeah, his height's too short. His height's too short. I got you. You said his height's too short. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna get into it. First off, the first half. I just wasn't a fan of the team as a whole. I don't think they played for Sam Howell. I think they dropped. Receivers dropping passes. The first pass, Curtis Samuels dropped the pass. Then you had the Logan Thomas dropped the interception. That led to an interception. Then you had Crowder with just fumbling the ball on a special teams play. It was just so much bad football all the way around. You had Bates dropping passes. There was so much bad football being played, right? But with all that being said, right, it still was on Sam because Sam didn't play well either. And it's just, to me, I know a lot of folks, we're like, this is my thing about social media. And everyone's right. He played bad. Like, he played horribly. But we're acting like this dude's supposed to be a vet. You know what I'm saying? If you're playing against a Jets defense and you're not a vet, and we've seen multiple quarterbacks struggle against the Jets defense, and your offense and your offensive players aren't helping the young kid out, he's going to struggle and he's going to fail. That's just a fact. In this game, I'm just talking about in this game, he's going to fail. He is not Pat Mahomes. He is not Josh Allen fails. Struggles. He's not one of those quarterbacks. So I'm not calling. He is not one of those elite quarterbacks. But if you're going to let a young kid down, not be able to protect him, not be able to catch the football, you're going to get that. All right. So he didn't play well, but it was but I ain't gonna deny Jacoby Brissett just looks better. And the things that I've saw with him is that as a vet, he gets the ball out quick. He knows where he's going with the football. There's no hesitation. You know what I mean? There's one pass to Terry. Terry gets into that zone spot, that nice spot in the zone in the second half. He catches and turns upfield. Like, I don't think Sam makes that throw. You know what I'm saying? And the touchdown pass that he threw to Brissett threw to Logan Thomas, Sam doesn't make that throw now, but he made that throw earlier in the season. But he doesn't make that throw now because he's rattled. Like Sam Howell is rattled. You know what I mean? So I agree. Like, to me, like this on keeping the buck, Sam doesn't look like he got it right now, and Brissett's the better option. I don't think, and I'll be real, I don't think Sam, and we'll get to it later, but Sam's tenure as a starter, future as a starter in Washington is definitely in doubt, in jeopardy. But in terms of, but to your point about, I definitely put this on the coaching staff or whatever, because I just feel like that was the worst game of a professional I've ever seen football being played. Just because how bad it was all around the board. That was the worst game of football I've seen in terms of being a professional I've ever seen. I don't know about you, Glenn. You may have seen, I don't know if you've seen worse, but that was probably, to me, the worst. In terms of professional football, that's the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's bad. It was bad, man.
In that first half, definitely.
Yeah. I'm talking about the first half. The first half was terrible because you wanted to see this team improve and do some things, right? And this team wasn't able. They didn't come out gelled up like they were supposed to. And again, I said at the beginning, I blame Ron Rivera. I blame this team. We talked about earlier. Candy said it. Tomorrow could be Black Monday, right? I know it's Christmas, and tonight may be Black Monday, right? It's a short trip back to DC, train, bus, whatever, which way they come back. Because this team didn't come out with enthusiasm. Matter of fact, this team and Jacoby Brissett might have saved Ron Rivera from getting Black Monday.
I think so. I think they have.
They might. Yeah, Jacoby might have saved them from having Black Monday or Black Sunday night because this team played a little bit more excitement, and a little more energy, a little bit more effort when they came back. So I didn't like the defense in the second half on the last series. To me, linebackers out of the box, put them in coverage. You giving up the middle of the field. You know they only have one timeout left.
With a bad quarterback too.
With a bad quarterback, do that and complete the 10-yard shoot. You always got to count. You always got to count for the running back. And Hall,
yeah, exactly.
Hall was the guy who was, again, scored a touchdown earlier this year, early in the game. He was the one that put them in field goal position. You got to understand that is something that Ron Rivera, this is his defense, so we can't blame Jack Del Rio anymore, right? True. This is Ron Rivera. You have to say, look, this is on the defense per se. All right, on this drive. You got to count. The first half is over. When the Washington Commanders took the lead, everything that happened in the first half is like wash. You have to go from that play on, and that play on. You get the ball with 2:20 left. With and I'm going back to EB because EB's not innocent in this is neither. You get the ball back with 2:20 left, and we move on. All right. And so that's one of the things I want to switch to this if we could. Ron Revere's at the press conference, and
sure.
We'll switch to Ron real little bit and see what Ron has to say.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
You start Jacoby next week. We're going to put everything in and evaluate everything. We'll come into the conclusion very early in the week.
Did you have any conversation with Sam after he came out or after the game at all?
I just chit-chatted with him just a little bit just now, and had an opportunity to talk to him quickly.
And Tavita and Bienemy both kind of indicated last week that they felt like he was pressing a bit. Did you sense that again today?
I did, and it was tough. We didn't help him early. We dropped a couple balls that we probably should have caught, and and then that's tough. And your confidence sometimes can get shaken, and that's what I started to feel in the second half, and I was really concerned, and that's why I made the decision I did.
Early in the game, did you see moments where you felt Sam was growing and developing, and if so, where?
I saw moments I thought he was doing pretty good, and like I said, we all got to make plays, and when we get those opportunities, we got to do those things.
This is a kind of an awkward question, but some fans were rooting against you guys today for draft position. Do you notice that, or what do you make of that?
I don't make of that. I really don't. I'm going to show up, and we're going to work, and we're going to play to win. Everything we do is about winning. It got nothing to do with about losing, okay? If that's what they're thinking, then that's unfortunate.
Ron, with Jacoby, is it just a matter of him being decisive and just going where?
Yes, and that's one of the things that you don't want Sam to overthink. He's got a lot of pressure. He's trying to do a lot of things and make things happen, and you can't fault him for that.
Young quarterbacks can go in a million different directions. When a guy gets benched twice, he's going to obviously start thinking about things. What do you do to kind of talk to him about
We most certainly will talk about those things. We'll talk about just the opportunities he's had and how much he's learned, how much he's grown. He's got to look at this as this is just part of the things, the process to go through it.
The start of the game probably couldn't have gone much worse.
No, it couldn't have been any worse. It really couldn't have been. You're absolutely right. It was about as bad as it could have been.
To go from that to how the game finished, I don't mean the kick, of course, but the way you guys were able to rally. Yep. I guess what does that just say about
the grit? It really does. I love the question. I really do. It's about the grit, the heart that those guys have in that room. They're going to fight for each other. They're going to play for each other. I told you guys last week, it's about being a professional, and that's what these young men showed, that they are professionals. They're not going to quit. They're not going to roll over, and they're not going to die. I couldn't be more proud of a group of young men than the guys that came out, especially in the second half, and fought and played and gave it everything they have. They have pride, they have grit. That's probably the best thing you could say about those young men.
And you had a bunch of injuries in game. Yeah. Any sense of those guys and how they're doing?
Not yet. We do know Andrew had a hyperextended elbow. They'll have to examine it, but he was available just in case of emergency. They taped it up, put a sleeve on it to try and secure it. So if we got into a pinch, he would have gone back out for us. I really appreciate that attitude. Chris rolled his ankle. It's probably going to be sore the next couple of days, but we'll be able to evaluate him a little bit more tomorrow. Benjamin had a slight concussion, and I don't want to downplay it because he'll be in the protocol, and he'll have to be examined all week, and we'll see how he does. To that point, it was good to see Emmanuel get out there and play. I thought he had some really good moments. There was one that got a little hairy, but he really stepped up, so that was good to see, and I can't wait to watch the tape on that.
Coach, with along the lines of Chris Rodriguez, he had his first NFL touchdowns today. Anything you can kind of say about his growth and what you've just seen since rookie camp to today?
That's a good word for it, was growth, because he's worked hard. He's done a lot of tough things. He's grown up a little bit, and one of the things that we always talk about is when you see a rookie play on special teams the way Chris has played all year, you just feel that when he gets his chance, he's gonna step up. Well, he got his chance today, and he really did step up in a big way. Last week he had a couple of really good runs, and he put a good game together today. And I know, we get a chance to watch film, we could evaluate a little bit more, but it's one of those things that you feel good about the young man.
There's been a fair amount of losses one-sided. How much harder is it when it goes that way and it's at the last second?
Oh, it's hard as hell. It really is. Trust me, those guys in that room right now are really disappointed just because they fought, scratched, clawed, did everything to get to that position, and to have that happen. I mean, it was a hell of a kick. You got to give Zerline tremendous credit. I mean, that ball would have been good if it was on the 50. I mean, he smoked it. So kudos to him. But for our guys, they wanted it. They really did. They felt it, and unfortunately, it didn't go our way. But they played hard.
With Sam, does it seem like he's the same guy he was a month ago, 6 weeks ago?
That's a little bit to be evaluated. It's one of the things that you look back at some of the games he had a month ago, and wow, that's good. But there's been some things lately that we have to evaluate and decide on.
Yeah.
Your thoughts.
I think he was frustrated how the game ended. I just feel like he was, like you said, he was calling the play. I don't think he was aggressive enough down the stretch on that defensive series. But in terms of Sam, some telling signs. He said that they're going to make that assessment about trying to see who's going to be starting next week, about Jacoby going forward. Jacoby, I think pretty much that, to me, that's talk to say they're going to go with Jacoby. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to put up some comments before we talk about his press conference. Some comments that George put out there. George on Facebook said, if we draft a quarterback in this draft, he better be 6'4" or taller. It's possible. It's definitely possible. He had a question. George also had a question. Said, who would you guys let Jacoby start? No, would you guys let Jacoby start next year and still draft a QB in the later rounds?
Yes.
Okay. What I would do, I ain't gonna lie, George, because Jacoby's a vet, I would consider starting Jacoby next year and drafting a quarterback in the early round, like in the first round. I still would consider drafting a quarterback in the first round.
But the problem,
I wouldn't go into the season if you can get one of the top guys in the draft. If you want a quarterback, this is probably, you're not going to probably get a better quarterback than these guys in the next couple of years. So I would draft a quarterback in the first round if I'm going to start the season with Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, the issue is that Jacoby Brissett only signed a 1-year deal with his
so I'm saying, if you resign him, so
you got to resign him.
Yeah, if I'm going to go quarterback, and if I want to go, if Jacoby's coming back, I'll get a young guy to sit behind I'll get a number one to sit behind Jacoby.
But you know what? I think all that determines.
Vaughn said, well, Ron, I guess you saw the conference that Ron, you suck. Can't wait till this season is over.
Yeah. I mean,
I want to read that.
Yeah. Well, I think with Jacoby, real quick, with Jacoby Brissett is this. There's no quarterback decision. I want to understand, fans understand. There's not going to be a quarterback decision until the new regime and the GM is in. They'll probably meet with Jacoby Brissett. They'll probably meet with Sam Howell. They realize who the new head coach is, and we'll know that decision before the draft, right? Hopefully, we know that decision in a couple of weeks. If Jacoby Brissett going to sign with his team, is Jacoby Brissett is Sam Howell, the new coach, going to take on Sam Howell? Sam Howell's going to be here regardless. Let's be up. Let's be this. Sam Howell is going to be here regardless. All right, unless they trade him. Sam Howell will be part of.
He'll be here. He'll be here. I don't think he'll be traded. He'll be here. He could be backup or whatever. Like, I even think you can go in the season, and if you want to, you can go in the season with Sam as a starter next season, and then draft a quarterback to be the guy.
Yeah,
to be like, there's ways. If you're like, and we'll talk like, but first, before we get into all that, Glenn, what were your thoughts of the press conference? I'll throw it back to you.
My thoughts of the press conference is Ron Rivera's being safe. He's being honest a little bit, but still being safe. The guy, because he didn't really address why did they come out flat. Nobody asked him like, why did they come out flat? He just said the guys played, it showed up, it became professionals at the end of in the second half. My question would have been, okay, why do your teams keep coming out lackadaisical and flat at the beginning of the games? Who is that on, right? But I thought he answered same again, vague answers, never gave us really clear-cut answers. Of course, you're going to go back and watch the tape, evaluate, make a decision. But let's be honest, people see it. We're not blind. this team rallied behind Jacoby Brissett for the last 2 weeks. This guy has 5 drives, I believe, and touchdowns on every drive. Except for the drive that they couldn't even get 10 yards, that's on Eric Bieniemy. I'm not giving him a pass.
He wasn't aggressive. He wasn't aggressive.
He wasn't aggressive enough, knowing that you need the New York Jets to burn timeouts, right?
Yeah.
One first down wins the football game.
Yeah, that's it.
One first down wins the football game. And now we talked about it, Wole. We talked about it in the pregame. This team may not win another football game all year.
Nah, it's not, man. I don't think
this was their easiest chance or the last chance to win a game, and this team may not win another game. We said a couple weeks ago that we looked at certain games on the schedule, and this Jets game was a game that they had an opportunity to win because San Francisco and Dallas are playing for something for the next 2 weeks.
So what is it that for you? What is it that Jacoby does better than Sam Howell? Like why the difference? Such a difference.
One, he sees the field more, right?
Okay.
He has a great pocket presence. If you look at him, he was willing to stand up there and take whatever hit was going to be delivered. He was standing there. It's a lot of those passes. He stood in the pocket and was able to deliver the football. He made some smart plays when he had to throw the ball out of bounds, getting out of the pocket. He's a seasoned vet, right? He understands this. Nothing against Sam Howell. Sam Howell's only 2 years into the league. 15 games. 15 games as a starter? 16 games as a starter?
Yeah.
Basically, as a starter, he's still making some same mistakes.
16 games,
16 games as a starter. So you got to put him on the same game pace as CJ Stroud, right? Stroud, if you watch the Houston Texans game, he still makes mistakes.
He's out now. He's out for the last.
He's out.
Right though.
He's out for the last couple weeks. But I'm just comparing him to the best.
No, I know you're talking about. No. I'm talking about. Yeah, I got you.
No,
I got you.
So he makes mistakes. So it's just that he's with this fan base where his mistakes are magnified, and this fan base takes it to another level because again, he's still learning. And he's a rookie quarterback. Let's forget the one game that he played against Dallas, right? He's essentially a rookie quarterback, and he's making rookie mistakes. In his team, let's not put it all on him. His teams, his receivers are not helping him out by dropping football, by catching footballs, and things of that nature. So it's not all on him, but it's on him. It's on some of the play calling. It's on some of his receivers. It's on the nature and the culture of the organization. It's on all that. Sam Howell's human like everybody else. I think because this team is out of the playoffs, that fight that's in him, that go and do extra, that I don't think he has that right now.
Yeah, I don't think he has it. I think he's flustered. He's lost confidence. I mean, I think that's all that's in play. But yeah, I just think that, me being like, I'm a Sam Howell supporter, but it is what it is. You see it. And it's hard to get back when you lose confidence. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. It's hard to get back. It's hard to come back.
Yeah.
And he's lost confidence. Yeah. And Ron, the reporter asked him the question, what's different? Has he changed from what we saw last season? And he has. I mean, not last season, in the beginning of the season. And he has. He hasn't been the same Sam Howell. Like the same throws, like that throw Jacoby made against, I'm gonna say it, to Logan Thomas. And I think the announcer for CBS said it, like, Sam Howell doesn't make that, doesn't try to throw that pass. Yeah, he doesn't try to throw that pass now, but he did in the beginning of the season. In the beginning of the season, he had multiple passes that he was threading the needle. And now it's like he's kind of shy on doing that. I think that's what happens when you throw interceptions. You feel the pressure. Now you're just trying to be safe with the football rather than just being you. You're now cautious on every play. So he just hasn't been the same. And it doesn't look good for Sam Howell, as this team going into the future, trying to be in the future quarterback. Because I put a poll up. We put a poll out there on our All Burgundy and Gold, ABG _ everything Twitter X handle, and the poll about is Sam Howell still, like, to folks, is Sam Howell still the guy for the future? The QB, you still have him looking at the quarterback for the future? Well, I stated it this way: is the Sam Howell experiment as the starter for the future over? 85% said yes, 15% said no. So now, like, the fan base, like, is pretty much in agreement that Sam Howell isn't the guy. So he isn't the guy. So that's the thing. Like, and feeling bad for Sam because everybody was vibing Sam Howell, right? Everybody was vibing him, but now it seems like he may not be the guy of the future. But but I don't think the career for Sam Howell as a starting quarterback in the NFL is over by any stretch of the imagination. But we all know. But once you start to go through this route, it's hard for people to believe in you. And like you said, Glenn, and truth be told, it doesn't matter about us as the fan base. It's going to depend on who the new GM is.
Yeah, it's definitely going to depend on who the new GM is.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to play this.
There.
Just Jacoby. We're going to play Jacoby's presser.
So good. I mean, you always just got to be ready when your number's called, obviously. And so, yeah.
Any other kind of like observations that you had that helped you to kind of get into the game and say, kind of move quickly, right? It was in the third quarter or so. So did you say, all right, we want to try to make a move, maybe perhaps win the game? Was there anything that you specifically saw? I
don't think nobody's in here going out there to lose, Right. So the mindset obviously was to go find a way to put points on the board, put together a couple of drives and for us to go down and score a couple times and win. And that was literally it.
So, Kobe, one of the things EB was talking about this week with Sam is that he just needs him to be more decisive. I just wonder, from your standpoint as an experienced quarterback, how does experience allow you to just go, this is what I see, this is what I'm going to throw to?
I mean, honestly, like it'll be easy for me to come up here and say, like, man, I just, it's because I'm a veteran that things like that happen. It's just like how things just work out sometimes, and I literally the same thing I did last week, the same thing I did this week. I'm talking to Sam, man. It's just like some of these things are you don't know, or you learn it as you go, and you got to go through it you got to get through it, and you got to go through it, and for me, it's just going out there and just playing football and how I know how to do best, and trying to put our team in the best position possible, put myself in the best position possible, and letting the results take care of themselves.
And as somebody that was, at one point you were inexperienced like Sam.
Oh yeah.
So how do you counsel him now as he's going through this?
I mean, I told him, man, this is gonna be the hardest part of your career right now, and it's gonna feel like, man, that you're in this by yourself, and it's snowballing. It's one thing after another. It's one thing after another. But I know from being in this league, man, it's the good ones find a way to get to the other side. No matter how long it takes, how hard it is. You surround yourself with good people. I hope he leans on me as one of those good people that'll help him get through this, because I know I will. And you just go through it like that, and it's no, I mean, what all the coaches say, it's no magic pill. It's no magic thing for somebody to go over there and say, Sam, do this and everything works. It's man, you gotta go through it, and you just got to make sure that you got the right people in your ear. You keep your confidence, you stay true to who you are, because that's what's gotten you to this far. And I'm excited for him, man. I told him that, like, literally I got run off the field. I'm excited for this part of your career, because not a lot of people get this experience, man. And the ones that come on the other side, man, they have a better story than a lot of people. And I'm sure he'll appreciate, this part of his journey at the end of his career.
How do you respond to that message?
The message I just said?
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling Sam.
Right. No, how did Sam respond to that?
Oh, he understood it, and like I told somebody else, I mean, that's like my little brother, man. It's like I told him before I started, I said, I'm probably the last person you want to hear from right now. But, he's obviously, processing a lot of stuff right now, and as he should be, that's part of the journey is processing and questioning and and looking inside to find answers and looking other places to find answers. So he understood it, and he was receptive of it. I'm probably one of his biggest fans on his team, probably, well, made right now seem like probably biggest fans in this world, and so at the end of the day, he understands what he has to do. And like I said, I'm excited for him, man, because I know he's not going to do it by himself.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Your thoughts, like Jacoby said, even in the midst of him taking over, he's mentoring, Sam Howell.
I think it speaks volumes of him, right? It's something we've heard about. I mean, before the signing, when he was in talks, and then when he came on board, just that how he's been important for Sam. He would be important for Sam Howell, and he has been important for Sam Howell. And I feel like that even to a point where during the game, they talked about how the Cleveland Browns called in to try to trade for Brissett, and Ron Rivera said no, because he's important to that locker room. He's important to Sam, important to Sam Howell. Mm-hmm. So I just think, in my opinion, looking at the situation, like looking at Jacoby. Jacoby is a vet, you know, and that's what vets do. You know what I mean? So I didn't expect anything differently, and just to tell Sam, give Sam that outlook, knowing that, you know, this could be a testimony. You know, and sometimes the best stories come back from how you come through from adversity. Look at Geno Smith. He's a prime example. Like, look how
Geno's definitely a prime example.
Look at him, and look how now he's, you know, he got the bag last season. You know, puts up decent stats, and it seems like he found a home in Seattle. So this could also be Sam's story. But in terms of him, what he was saying about him talking to Sam Howell about how to be decisive, right? And trying to get through these windows. He's like, it's something you just got to go through, you know. And I think as fans, you don't notice that, but it is something you just got to go through to become that guy. Like I mentioned before, when he's with the St. Louis Rams, Jared Goff had to go through it to become who he is today. Tua, his rookie year wasn't all roses. He had to go through it, and look at him now. So sometimes you just got to go through it to be a dude, like, or to be a good quarterback. Drew Brees' rookie year wasn't the best rookie year. Like, sometimes you just gotta go through it and come out on the other side and be be one of the guys that people like.
Look at Peyton Manning's rookie year. Wasn't the best.
It wasn't. He led the league in interceptions.
Right. Andrew Luck rookie year. I mean,
Andrew Luck was good his rookie year. He made the playoffs.
Oh yeah. He did go.
Andrew Luck was good. No. He was good rookie year.
It was later on until he got knocked out.
Yeah, he got hurt. Yeah, no. Andrew Luck was the man. I love Andrew. That's one dude. That's one of my favorite quarterbacks. But yeah, I want to read some comments. Ruben Vasquez said, "Start Jacoby for the rest of the year. Save Howell from getting killed by the Niners and Cowboys defense."
I agree with that.
For some strange reason, I kind of agree with that.
Me too. I kind of agree with that.
I kind of agree with that.
Let Jacoby show his stuff.
Yeah. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too. Happy holidays to you, my man. Yep. He also, the Hawks said, number 2 pick. Here we go.
Wow, I don't think we can get that low. I can't get that low.
Did Carolina win?
No, Carolina did not win. They almost came back. They lost 33-30. They did not win.
And that's a rookie quarterback too. And we'll see how that pans out with him. I think I like their quarterback. I actually like Carolina's quarterback. I like him at Alabama. So
yeah.
The Hawk also put, just want to finish up these two road games and know how I use the quotation marks. These 2 road games for quotation. Yeah, we know they're not gonna be road games, man. We know how this team rocks. We know that FedEx will have nothing but Niners fans and also Cowboys fans those last 2 road games. We know.
Yeah.
On YouTube, Ishaq said saM is not him. Yeah, I mean, I called him earlier. Right now he ain't playing. He ain't him right now. So I won't even hold you. But I still have belief that Sam can turn his career around now. Go ahead.
Yeah, this team has the longest losing streak in the NFL currently, 6 games.
6 games, yeah.
Currently losing 6 football games, the longest losing streak in the league right now. And go back to that the comment by, I think it was Hawk TV, the comment about them moving up to the number 2 pick. It is possible if they move up, they could move up to the number 2 pick. If New England wins and Arizona wins, Washington has an opportunity to move up to the number 2 pick in the draft, and that complicates a lot of things here, right? That complicated if Washington gets up to the number 2 pick in the draft, right? That complicates. Look, it complicates some situations there because now you have a quarterback in Sam Howell. You have 2 quarterbacks out there. You have May out there. You have my man.
Caleb Williams
out there. I know you don't like it. I'm gonna throw it in there because I'm not a big fan of it either.
You
got Jaden Daniels out there. They begin to complicate a lot of things for this Washington offense. But not only complicated, but we'll have to speed a lot of things up for this Harris group, because the Harris group with the number 2 pick, you have to go in there with a GM. You have to go in there with your analytics. You have to go in there with your team, knowing everything. If we project this team to lose the next 2 football games, this team will actually have to. This team will be, their record will be what? That's 14. I mean 4. Excuse me, not 14. Excuse me, 4-13. 4-13. This team will end the season with, and they could actually get the pick. Now, only thing is Carolina will have to lose 2 games, and
To get the first pick. To get the first pick.
Yeah, I don't know how that
tiebreaker works. I
don't know how that tiebreaker goes.
Washington's got the toughest schedule, so I think that kind of puts them in a certain bracket. If it's a tie.
Yeah, both of them.
I would say this: Patriots. I know I say it. The Patriots will probably lose again. Like they're gonna lose. The Patriots aren't good. Did they already? Wait. The Patriots already play this week? They didn't play this week. They haven't played yet, haven't they? No, they haven't. No, they haven't played yet.
No, they played Denver tonight.
They played Denver tonight.
That's an 8-15 game.
Yeah, the Patriots are probably gonna lose. I'm not gonna hold y'all like that. I think it's rare. I don't think the Patriots win a single game for the rest of the season. But they could move up to 2. They moved to 2. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. May and Williams on the board. They're taking one of those dudes. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. Like, it is what it is. They're not gonna worry about Sam Howell when it comes to May and Caleb Williams. That is not a thing. There's no competition between those two. Like, there's levels to this. I remember we talked about, Jaden Daniels. A lot of people kind of want Jaden Daniels, and I said, like, the difference between Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams and May is May and Caleb Williams have had multiple years of high-level college football play, like multiple years of high-level college football play. Jaden Daniels recently came up to light and had a good season. So if those two dudes, and they've always been talked about as being guys that are going to be top quarterback picks in the draft, both of them from day one. They've been those guys. That pedigree has never left. They were always going to be considered the top quarterbacks in the NFL. From high school to college. That's been a thing. Like, Caleb Williams went to Oklahoma as the top quarterback recruit, then goes to SC. Mays was one of the top recruits going to North Carolina. People were like, why are you going to North Carolina? That is not like, those two dudes are it in terms of, so if they land 1 or 2, Howe isn't going to change that thought process. He's just not, and it's no knock on Howe. It's almost like when San Diego had, like, all right, for instance, when San Diego had Drew Brees, they just drafted Drew Brees the year before in the second round, because they got LT in the first round, Drew Brees in the second round. They were a bad team. So what did they do? And Phillip Rivers was there. They didn't say, we're not taking Phillip Rivers. They decided to take Phillip Rivers.
You got to remember why they took Phillip Rivers, because what's his name? Eli Manning didn't want to go there.
Yeah, but they didn't have to take Phillip Rivers, though. They didn't have to take Phillip Rivers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're right, but they didn't have to take a quarterback. But Phillip Rivers is there, so they took Phillip Rivers. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's certain and Phillip Rivers had a banging year in NC State. Like, this dude is like he beat Florida State, and if you remember back then, Florida State defense was it. And Phillip Rivers used to get them.
He also had Terry Holt too. Torrey Holt.
He didn't have Torrey Holt that
year. Torrey had left. Torrey had graduated.
Torrey left. He didn't have Torrey Holt. He had no. He had a bunch of limited receivers. I remember that.
Yeah, that's right. Like, Torrey had graduated.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, Phillip was, so to my point, Sam isn't gonna change that thought process. He's just not that. He's not at that level to change that thought process.
Couple comments there.
I know. I see it. I can see. Isak said, Sam is a 5th round quarterback that is failing. Do you really want to put this franchise in the young man's hands for the next year? Yeah, I don't see. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not. It's a good question. Like, from what we're seeing now, you don't want to, the way it's ending the season. I don't think you want to. I agree with that.
No, I agree with the way
he's ending the season.
Yeah, the way he's ending the season. No,
I don't think you don't want to put him in, but it depends what you're going to do, though. Like, I don't want to put my hands. It has to be the right rookie. That's all I'm saying. Like, a lot of people like Jaden Daniels, but do you really want to put your future in Jaden Daniels at this particular point in time? Again, meaning that he is the unknown. Like, he is still the unknown too as well, because he had one very good year of college football, which gave him the Heisman.
And then how much do you put all these losses on Sam Howell?
Not all of it. If someone's on the defense, would you want to put? And again, that's my thing. Do you give Jaden Daniels or whoever you draft the same situation? Do you put all the pressure on him? Because you put all the pressure on Sam Howell to be productive.
Right. Like, and his defense let him down. Let him down.
Because really, and I've said this before, like, you got watch that Texans team that we talk about, like, and that dude Stroud has been amazing. So I'm not, but they're not putting all the world's pressure on Stroud either. They're like, their defense is solid. Like, he doesn't have to be in shootouts all the time. Like, Sam Howell has to be in the shootout all the time. George said, Sam can turn his career around, but we have to give him some protection. Oh, I agree. Like they have to give him protection. If you want Sam Howell to be good, you gotta give him protection. I totally agree with that.
And you know what? And Sam Howell will probably turn his if it doesn't work out and they get the number 2 pick, he'll turn his career around somewhere else.
Yeah, or you just win the quarterback competition in preseason, like do what Drew Brees did with Phillip Rivers. Like that year he came back, he played well. Like he was the man. To a point they had to make a decision, but they obviously had to trade Drew Brees because once you put collateral, once you draft the first pick over a first round pick, you got to go with that dude. So for him, you can go that route. Seeing in real time how easy Jacoby is coming in and making it happen. No, definitely did. Ruben said if they get to number 2, as much as I like how you have to go quarterback, I agree. I'm not a fan of Caleb Williams, but if drafted, I'll be rooting for him. Caleb is dude. I'm telling you, sometimes Caleb is good, bro. I'm telling y'all, look, don't let folks change your thought process. Like this dude was good in Oklahoma when he came in as a true freshman. He was putting up numbers. And also when they gave him the opportunity, and also he's been good in USC. Like this dude has been good every which way. Now that's what happens when the draft process starts. They start throwing in the negatives. Bo Nix is him. Commanders should trade back and get what they can get for. I'm not a big Bo Nix.
Me neither. Yeah. Not a six.
I ain't gonna lie.
Not a
I watched him at Auburn. I ain't like him at Auburn. Then he came to Oregon under a different regime. And Oregon has that wide open offense. Bo Nix ain't. He put like this. Bo Hicks ain't. I watched Oregon quarterback. Bo Hicks ain't Justin Herbert. I've always loved Justin Herbert. Bo Nix ain't Justin Herbert. I'll tell you that much. In my opinion. You know what? I'm not gonna knock you. I'm not gonna knock you. If you're wrong, if you're right, I'll come on this show next year and be like, you got it. But I'm just not a big fan. I'm personally not a big fan of Bo Nix.
But this is my question for you guys. I mean, and we talk about here, Jacoby Brissett 6'4". You have Caleb Williams is listed at 6'1". You have a Bo Nix who is about 6'2". If you talk about big quarterbacks, because we came on here talking about how Jacoby Brissett was 6'4", how Jacoby Brissett could see the field, how Jacoby Brissett was a bigger quarterback. You in that situation, we talking about bigger quarterback, good arm, projected to be the guy. You have to go with Drake May. Because Drake May 6'4", Drake May 6'4", I believe he's around 230, 235, somewhere around like that.
Drake May is the prototypical quarterback. Like he's your prototypical
quarterback. So if you're talking about those, if you're talking about guys like Caleb Williams 6'1", maybe and Bo Nix maybe 6'2", you're getting the same thing that you have with Sam Howell. And height wise, not talking about talent, I'm talking about height wise in that type of way. You have to be able to do a little bit more.
This is what I would. This is my rebuttal to that is like. To that would be that, I mean, he's compared. I mean, if you look at Caleb, he's compared to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is 6'2". So I mean, if you want, I mean, I'm just keeping a buck. He's compared to Patrick Mahomes. He's a freak. He can create plays for you with his feet in terms of stalling time and finding an open dude. Great arm and amazing arm strength. So. That would be if anything, I would say like, yeah, you want that type of prototypical, like you said, that type of quarterback. But when you have talent like that, it's hard to pass up. So Ruben put out there on Facebook, nope, they don't ask him to throw the ball as much as Howell is. He's talking about Stroud is asked to like you're saying, and they're asking a second-year quarterback to put the team on his back. That's what I guess like, yeah, that's my thing. You're asking for. And not even he's a second year, but he's still relatively, like I said, he's still relatively a rookie. Because like Glenn said, he only played now 15 games total, right? Or 16 games total. But you're asking him to do way more than other teams. You're asking Sam Howell to do way more than any first-year starter. That's the thing I have an issue with. And people are judging him. And you're judging him off of that.
This is the best comment.
Don't mean nothing without a line. I agree. That's
best comment. Best comment. Right. Vaughn, that's Vaughn, that is a true statement. You're right. That's a true statement right there. Don't mean nothing. Don't matter who you put back there if you don't have a line. But with that being said, Jacoby Brissett showed a little bit today that if you can do what you need to do.
When you're a vet,
you're a vet. That line can play for you. Yeah,
you can dictate. You can change things if you're a vet and you're kind of going through these defenses. A rookie does not know these defenses. So what happens is with rookies, this is the truth. So this is what sometimes it's good to have a mobile quarterback as a rookie. Is that when they don't understand or don't see, they just go out and run. and they give you positive plays, right? So you kind of want that dynamic. Like, all right, if I can't see it, then I'm just going to go. And then you just have to stop. You don't have to stop my legs. Ruben said, I watch a lot of college football, and I've watched a lot of him play. Not saying he's not skilled. He seems mentally soft to me, but just my opinion. No, a lot of people, that's been the thing. A lot of people are saying that he's mentally soft. I don't think he's mentally soft. You know, that's me. But I know a lot. That's been the talk about Caleb. But I think Caleb is very special, and I'm not even a USC fan or anything. I think Caleb is very special. My problem with Caleb is that I've never seen him in control enough. I've seen him doing Mahomes when things are torn up, never stable. Look, man, in today's NFL, bro, you do kind of need a quarter. If you have a bad offensive line, those type of quarterbacks are the dudes you kind of want, like, but to a certain extent, you know. Like, that's what, truth be told, what you think that, I mean, that's what what's his face? Golly, I mean, I have a moment. Look at Jalen Hurts when he was in Oklahoma. Not even in Bama, Oklahoma. Bama, they just made him run the ball a lot. But Oklahoma, look what he was doing a lot of stuff with his legs and freelance and stuff. But go ahead.
But the thing is this, but what about Mahomes? One thing you got to learn: Mahomes was able to sit behind a good quarterback for a couple of years and to learn, right? Yeah. Mahomes was able to learn. Mahomes was able to learn. He learned from Andy Reid. He learned from Alex Smith. Alex Smith. He learned from Alex Smith, right? Mm-hmm. He learned that type of how to play and how to be professional. Mm-hmm. So again, bringing that's why it's important, to my opinion. If you do draft a Caleb Williams, you do draft a Drake May, if you do draft one of those top quarterbacks, it's important and it's very imperative you keep a guy like Jacoby Brissett here to be your starter. You keep a veteran here so you can lead them and guide them the right way. Do this fan base with a new organization, with new leadership and organization, what is the turnaround for this fan base to see or for the organization to see a rate of return? Do you want to hit the start button all over again with a rookie quarterback, or do you want this team to start winning right now? And we go back to Josh Harris. We talked about in the pregame some of his routine, trust the process. Yeah. All this other stuff. Yeah, trusting the process is good when you have an 82 game basketball season. But when you only have a 17 game football season, that thing needs to turn around quickly. And you want to be into a rhythm, and you want to be in the playoff. Coming into December, late November, early December, you want to be playing good football. So again, if they're out there, you draft them, but you keep a guy like Jacoby Brissett around so he'd be that veteran quarterback. You might just have to carry 3 quarterbacks on your roster. Yeah. If you want to be able to get the development that you need from these other 2 guys. And they'd still be on the rookie deal. Sam Howell still be underneath a rookie deal. You're not paying a whole bunch of money.
You keep rid of Sam Howell. It's on a deal. There's no need to get rid of Sam Howell.
Yeah, nobody to get Sam.
He's not expensive.
But you don't keep a second-year quarterback and a first-year quarterback on the same, and I'm going to say second year, because Sam Howell. You could. But the organization and the team won't go anywhere unless you build around. Again, back to the statement that Vaughn said: if you get draft those, your next 4 or 5 draft picks better be O linemen.
Of course. I agree. And I agree with all of that. I just if you draft them first, today's NFL, I'm gonna keep it a buck. If you draft them 1 or 2, that quarterback's gonna start. Sorry, like this to hurt. Like look at for the last 5 years, the last 4 or 5 years. That number 2 quarterback is starting. 1-2 quarterback starting.
You got to pull Aaron Rodgers, man. You got to have him set.
No, Aaron Rodgers was in the top 2 pick.
I know he wasn't. But
so I'm saying, like, they're just keeping it a buck. Like, and all right, is CJ Stroud starting? Is he winning? I'm keeping it a buck. Like a lot of these dudes.
But they didn't have nothing. They didn't have anything in Carolina, man.
I'm not knocking him. I thought CJ Stroud just started.
Oh yeah, Houston. Yeah, Houston. Yes.
They're winning.
They're winning.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not knocking. I'm just telling, like, if you're drafted May or Caleb, them dudes starting. I'm just keeping it a buck. They're starting. They're not sitting. Like, they're going to start. It's still okay to have, like you said, Jacoby Brissett. That's still cool because he can still mentor them like he's mentoring Sam Howell. Like, that's not a thing. That's not a problem. I'm just saying, if you draft those 2 dudes, they're starting. Like, that's not even, unless they look horrible. Unless they look horrible. Even the kid the kid from Indiana, Richardson, who is who really is just more of a runner at this particular point in time and then a passer. Yeah, he started off the rip.
He did.
You know what I'm saying? And they had Gardner Minshew. To your point, it's probably a vet,
better quarterback.
A vet, but who's starting? So I'm just saying, like that whoever, like that dude is starting. Like that dude is starting. Like I'm not knocking it, but I think that dude is definitely going to start. Ruben also put out there that they pass over 70% of the time. Not a great success for a young QB to 16 starts. Not arguing that at all. Agreed. I'm just saying that I'd like to have seen him running a stable offense a little bit more. Yeah, I get you. No, I'm not knocking you, Ruben. I get what you're talking about. Resilience on YouTube says Sam is trash.
I'm gonna comment on that real quick. Go. This is the same guy. If Sam was so much trash, right? People would support.
They weren't saying this in the early season.
They weren't saying this early this season. And if it wasn't for this piece of trash, the Washington Commanders would be 0-15 right now because the 4 games that they won was because of Sam Howell.
Bro.
Can we keep a buck? Let's keep it a buck, right? Let's keep it honest.
I want to ask.
The 4 games that they won was because of Sam Howell. Sam Howell brought him back in the Denver game, right? Sam Howell was the reason they won the New England Patriots game, right? The 4 wins. I can't remember all 4 wins they got. But
Atlanta, they got Atlanta. Atlanta was like a team win. Atlanta was different.
Atlanta was a team win because you had Jameson Crowder in the punt return. And
that
all
was different.
That was a team win. But 3 out of the 4 wins was because of Sam Howell.
Yeah. Even the Seattle game, I think they get blown out for one for Sam Howell. This is what I would say to people who say Sam Howell is trash, and this is the truest statement. Name me a rookie quarterback that you like who had a great year that you asked them to do the same amount of work that Sam Howell's doing. And I mean the bad defense, bad, like you could say poor coaching, bad offensive line. You name me another rookie quarterback that's been asked to do what Sam has done, and then come back and then we can have the debate about if he's trash or not. Because I think somebody said on X, which I totally agree, it is truly hard to assess if he's bad or not, to be real with you, because you're asking for a second year, you're asking for a rookie quarterback to do so much for your team. Like he has to be the everything. Poor defense, he got to be in a shootout 24/7. He's got to worry about a bad O-line. Name me a rookie quarterback, not a vet. Not a vet. A rookie quarterback that has been asked to do that much. Truly. And then we can come and have that discussion. That we can have a true discussion. I said you mentioned Jacoby Brissett. Name me a rookie. I know you said Jacoby was better. Name me a rookie quarterback. CJ Stroud. Look at Houston's defense. He's not a shooter every week. Look at Houston defense. Look what D'Amico Ryan doing. Look what D'Amico Ryan doing defensively. I'm just keeping it buck. And the offensive line is better, way better.
And
you're right. I like CJ. CJ sharp.
And then I say they got a better running back too.
You know what I'm saying? CJ sharp. I'm just telling you, like everything. Like you're asking to do everything. That's all I'm saying. No, not again. I like CJ. CJ having a good year, but CJ ain't asked. CJ got a better O-line. CJ got a better defense. Washington got with the worst defenses in the NFL. Who you asking to do more work? Like, look what you're asking for a second-year quarterback to do. That's all I'm saying. For not even second year for real. It's really a first-year starting quarterback to do with all that. That's all. You know what I'm saying? No. Again, look at the Colts defense. The Colts defense is solid. Look at the Colts defense. Solid defense. Look what they're doing look what they're doing without Richardson. Defense is solid. Again, you're not like name me and their O-line ain't bad. Again, name me a squad with no defense, a rookie dealing with no defense, no O-lineman. I'll wait. He gets first down, but look at that defense with the old boy from Alabama, the defensive end. They got a defense. Cornerback. Look what the corners are doing. The dude from LSU, balling. Name me a defense, bro. Name me a defense. Name me a combination. That's all I'm asking for. Then we can do it. Ain't no coach. Yeah, look, I'm gonna keep saying it. Name me one. I ain't knocking. Look, if the argument is like he ain't coming to play for what he has, I agree with that. But name me a rookie quarterback that we asked to do all of that. It's hard. It's hard to find one. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's hard. They put that man in a situation not to be
with
successful.
With the new offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I'm serious. Like,
and no coach. Yes, I like that one too.
You saw it. Brock Purdy. Yeah. Brock got a defense. That's what I'm talking about. Brock got a defense. He got Trent Williams. Again, it's nobody. That's what I'm saying. Nobody. They ain't nobody going to do it. That's what I'm saying. When y'all say trash, I get like you're frustrated and play, but you understand what you're assessing. You're assessing a rookie quarterback that you're asking to carry a whole team.
Who's running for his life. Let's
not one element, but the whole team. So when your defense is the worst defense in the NFL, you're asking him to go toe-to-toe with a defense that gives up points consistently. Then you're asking for him to do it with a bad offensive line. I'm not saying that he is him, but I'm saying you guys are overly critical on a young dude who that has to carry a squad. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like y'all overly critical on a young dude that you're asking to carry a whole squad. I'm gonna be real. You want this dude to be Peyton Manning off the rip. That's the way a lot of y'all are assessing him. He ain't him. I'm sorry. He's not.
In a bad organization with a
bad organization. That's how y'all criticize him. Like y'all expected him to be Peyton Manning off the rip. You're expecting him to be Tom Brady. Like those dudes carry squads like this. I am not making this up. Those dudes carry squads like this. You said, yeah. Sam said, okay, look at Bryce Young in the Panthers. Nobody's talking about him, and he was the first, and he was the first pick overall. Yeah, and I'll even make the argument on this. Carolina actually got a defense, and he's struggling.
He's struggling.
I'll make this argument. Carolina actually got a defense.
But I can tell you this, Carolina made the decision to fire their coach.
Yeah, for him. Yeah, they trying to build for him.
They try to build for him, but Carolina also made a decision last year, and I'll say this all the time because we cover Carolina, and they didn't keep Steve Wilkes. And that would have been
I like Steve Wilkes.
Steve Wilkes made a big difference in his organization, and his team was winning underneath Steve Wilkes. But again, they wanted to give the other persuasion the head coaching job, and not the guy who looks like us.
Ruben on Facebook said, "Facts, bro. He was not trash. Not saying he's Caleb Williams or May, but definitely not trash. Totally agree.
Yeah, because you saw some glimpses with Sam Howell, right? He's struggling. He hit the sophomore slump, the rookie wall, whatever you want to call it. He hit it here, but let's go and coincide when Sam Howell hit this rookie slump, right? Sam Howell hit this slump when his two defensive guys got drafted away and left his organization, not drafted, got traded away and left his organization. Again, put more pressure on him to be able to do something. Yeah. Sam Howell has also slipped here since, I'm going to put it this way, Brian Robinson has not been in the backfield. Since Brian Robinson has been gone, his numbers have gone down. Guess what? There's some pieces that need to be in place for Sam Howell to be more effective. Sam Howell also, you got Nick Gates, who's back at center now. Some offensive linemen had to get shifted around. So again, you had this guy who's going through all this, maintaining, and guess what? I like Sam Howell because even at his press conference, he took ownership, right? He didn't he didn't blame anybody. He took ownership of what he did and what he needed to do in the organization. I think Sam Howell fits in this organization under new leadership. I think they get him in here early. Sam Howell could be a serviceable quarterback, whether they draft a quarterback or not. Still keep Sam Howell in this organization for the next year, I believe he has on his contract, and let him do what he can do within his organization. Build pieces around him, give him a strong offensive line. Got good running backs. He got good receivers. Bring in another tight end. Logan Thomas got to go, and let him become and continue to learn. Again, I don't put us all on Ron Rivera. There's a lot on Eric Bieniemy as well. Because if you see Eric Bieniemy today, EB changed the offense when Jacoby Brissett came in. So my question to EB will be this week, when Jacoby comes in, why did the offensive thing change? Has Sam not learned that, or you don't feel comfortable running that with Sam? It was more under the center stuff. Go back to look at when Jacoby Brissett has been in the lineup, the offensive set and the things that they do offensively has changed. Is that on coaching? They don't think Sam can do it, or is it on Sam?
It's definitely on. I mean, it's a vet, man. I mean, I don't look at Sam like Jacoby. You change up because Jacoby's comfortable. He can run more. Sam ain't comfortable. He can't run that. That's the reason why it's different. I don't blame. That's a vet thing. Jacoby knows more coverages and he's comfortable doing certain things. Virginia said if he was good, Ron should have saw it last year. Ron don't know. I'm not gonna say that because Ron misses out on everything.
Ron is not a good. Ron's not a good judgment of talent.
Nah, Ron ain't a good judgment. I'm not gonna put that like Ron ain't him on that regard. I ain't gonna hold you. My man, was that Jerome, man? That's my homie. We went to school together. That's my guy. Said if EB stand roll with how, but a new coach and coordinator is going to want the wrong guy. Yeah, I think I agree. I agree. I think that I mean I ain't gonna hold you. I think that's the road. I think they're gonna go. Then you're gonna get a new coach and new coordinator. Put it that way.
You get a new coach. Yeah, you get a new coach.
I think you will. Ishaq said, people make the mistake that he projects to be better, but what happened in NC happened here. He never advanced past his projection. He never got better. I like him at NC, so I don't really. He holds the ball. That's been a problem. Sacks were a problem in terms of scout report. So that was definitely his problem. I'm not. We'll see. We'll see. I think that again. I think I'm gonna say this again. It's hard to judge when you're asking him to do all the work. That's all I'm saying. When you're asking him to do all the work, it's hard to judge. I think that when we saw him, when he has time, I'll say this much: we all like Jalen Hurts is killing, right? He's killing the game, but Jalen Hurts has time to hold the football because that offensive line is elite. It's one of the best offensive lines. Could put Jalen Hurts in this offense and its offensive line, and let's just see how he is as a passer. As a passer, let's just see how he is, because those dudes. He waits for those long. We talk about how long those routes are. He waits for those long routes because he has that much time in the pocket. So I'm just saying, if you're going to set anything up for him correctly, like you want to set anything up for Sam Howell, if you want to really assess Sam Howell where his progression is, tailor the team to Sam Howell's strengths, right? Mm-hmm. And then we'll see what he is. If he's bad within the strengths, then we know what time it is. What's going on, Paul? Paul said, what did Paul also say? Paul said they drafted a quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he also added, can't judge Sam off this offensive line. I agree. That's my thing. It's hard to how can you really assess him with a poor offensive line? I'm gonna say this again. Give me a rookie quarterback in a situation that's similar. That's all I'm saying. In terms of outside the quarterback position, bad offensive line, bad defense. Give me a quarterback that's even the last 5 years that's been good in that type of situation. That's all I'm saying. So you ain't have to go this year, the last 5 years. And let's just really be fair about judging Sam Howell. Isam said, I think it's a new system, new coach, offensive coordinator, new quarterback first start in. He still has to learn. I agree. Still has to learn. Not knocking any your. I'm just saying, like, in terms of we use the term trash because we saw games where this man looked really good, right? And that, you're asking a young dude to do this consistently, knowing that I gotta outscore people. I gotta get the ball out quick consistently because this O-line ain't gonna ever give me a play for like this O-line rarely gives me a play for developing deep plays. There's so much that's involved, so much involved. You made thanks, man. Appreciate you. Made great points that make sense. Problem is when they wake up Jacoby, when they wake Jacoby up and get him in the game, he just moves the team so easy. No, I agree. I think that Jacoby. All right, keep this a buck. Jacoby right now, as constructed, because he knows football better than Sam Howell, is better. That's that. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. That's what it is. He's better. That's experience. That's knowing where to go to football. That's comfortability.
And you gotta look at it.
He knows defense is better than Sam Howell. That's experience. So I'm not going to argue with. I'm not going to debate that at all.
I'm not going to argue that neither. But also look where Sam Howell came from. Sam Howell learned underneath Tom Brady. All right, let's be honest. Tom Brady. He learned underneath the Belichick system. Jacoby Brissett was a guy who understood the game. He had time to sit and play with one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So he understood that. So that knowledge that he has, he's transferring now to Sam Howell. As Jacoby said in his press conference we saw earlier, in the future, in a couple of years, we're not even talking about the Sam Howell. We're talking about a Sam Howell who's going to be a better. I mean, this still guy. We tell people talking about he's trash. This guy still, as much as he passed, was still in the top 10 of quarterbacks and passing yards, right? Mm-hmm. With where he passed and where he threw the ball at. So he can only get better, and some numbers of mistakes and interceptions will go down. Some of the great quarterbacks had high interception numbers for their first 1 or 2 years, right? I mean, we call Brett. Well, it's funny how people say, "Oh, Brett Favre had to throw a whole bunch of interceptions, most interceptions ever," but he's a gunslinger, right? He's a gunslinger, right?
He was talking Atlanta before he came out to
right.
Atlanta.
came from Atlanta, right? So he's a gunslinger. Well, guess what? The gunslinger won a couple Super Bowls as he got better on in his career, and he still made some bad interceptions throughout the career. We'll see. I think you'll see the growth of Sam Howell in next year, and we saw growth from last year to this year with Sam Howell. We saw Sam Howell was able to move the ball around. Again, a new offensive coordinator, a new head coach, new motivation to this team. This team that you see now for the next 2 weeks won't be the same team you see next year. I'm not projecting titles or anything like that, but I can say that the team won't be the same.
Yeah, I just think that
and Sam won't be the same.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep buck. I don't know if Sam gonna be here. I doubt he'll be here. I mean, he'll be here, but I doubt he'll be the starter next year. That I will say. Like, oh man, you really like Bo Nix? I'm all right. Like, I didn't like Bo Nix, but I'm gonna go back and watch him, man. I'm gonna go. I mean, I've never liked him in Alabama, like I mentioned in Auburn, and even in. I'm gonna watch him, bro. I'm gonna watch him. Oh, this is a good one. But yeah, he's a first round pick. Josh, yo, a lot of people wrote off Josh Allen after his rookie year. I won't even hold you. A lot of people wrote him off. A lot of people wrote him off.
But what did Josh Allen get? Josh Allen got a defense. Josh Allen got an offensive line. Josh Allen has They brought Stephon Diggs in. He got better, right?
Yeah,
they gave him some pieces around him to make him look a little bit better where he's at. So guess what? Josh Allen, they put things around him. This team is going to put things around him. Let's be honest. Okay, we all talked about it. We all had discussion. If this was, if Ron Rivera had started Sam Howell last year with the defense and the way the defense was playing, this team might have been a playoff team, right?
Better.
They would have been better off. They would have been better off. Sam would have got more experience coming to this year. With a bit more experience. They would have knew what they had, knew how to move things and put things around him in order to improve. So again, you can go back to Ron Rivera. Even this year, if the defense played halfway. Right, if the defense played halfway what they played this year, right, what they did last year, this team wins more football games.
Yeah, I agree. So real quick before because we're gonna have to close this show out.
Yeah,
but real quick, your thoughts on the defense? Like I thought the defense actually played well. Even Cody Barton with his pick, I thought that was. I mean, I'm gonna give flowers. I thought Cody was all right. Hold on, my man. I'm gonna reach a little. My man said Penix. Penix is the only QB playing for a title. You really love Penix, Paul. I'm putting him out there. That's why I shared this because I know you like.
He's only playing for a title. He's only playing for a title for the simple fact is that his head coach has a big set of balls, and that's the play. And that's the play they called a couple of weeks ago against Washington.
Yeah, but go ahead. What defense though, real quick?
Defensively, I think this team did play a little bit better, but they was missing pieces. They were missing parts and pieces. I still think the secondary didn't play as much as I thought they should have played. It was good. It was good to see Emmanuel Forbes come back even with his arm.
Me too, man. I thought so too.
Being able to play, I think he did. I think this team missed a couple picks. I think Quan Martin missed a pick. They could have sealed the deal.
Did.
So this team has to get a little bit better in the secondary. Again, linebacker play, they don't have a linebacker. It's just what it is. Linebackers, even though Cody Barton got an interception today, that's fine. There's some things that linebacker-wise, he missed it. Let's be honest, on that drive, he missed a major tackle, right?
He always misses tackles, though.
Yeah, but he missed but this tackle would have put the Jets back and would have put them back further, right? You can't with the game on the line, you can't miss that tackle, the linebacker, right? Yeah. I thought Fuller missed some tackle, wasn't involved in the play. It seemed like they were just going through the motions. This defense this year under Ron Rivera or Jack Del Rio just went through the motions, and I think some of those guys are playing just for next year or trying to beat next year. So defense, they improved a little bit today. But again, when you make mistakes and you get an NFL team short fields where it's 20 yards, 10 yards, 15 before they get the touchdown, they can score. And the difference was turnovers.
I want to respond to this. Again, this is not what I'm saying. You're not listening to me. All right. So I'm saying this. Also put the ranking on the Texans. Put the Texans defensive ranking on that too, because that's what I want you to do. Put the Texans defensive ranking. Also show me and assess their offensive line compared to what Sam Howell has to deal with. Then you come back and tell me again. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying his situation is far better suited, and he's not than what Sam Howell's trying to do. You come back to me with that, then we can go back. You know what I'm saying? But you're just showing me stats. I'm not worried about the stats. I'm talking about his defense compared to Washington's defense because he's got to be in the shootout 24/7. Then give me their offensive line. Then we can come back. But I appreciate the comment, though. I do appreciate the comment.
Texans are ranked the number 16th defense in the league.
There we go. Washington's like one of the worst defenses in the NFL, period, by far. Yeah. So he's not in the shootout 24/7. So the games he does play bad, their defense is going to keep him in the game. That's all I'm saying. The games he does play bad because he's had some bad games. He's had some. He's going to always be in the game. He's going to always be involved in the game.
Yeah, Washington's the 32nd defense. Worst
there
defense.
You go.
Worst
there
defense.
You go.
Worst
I'm not
defense.
Making this up. I'm not making this up.
Worst pass defense.
They give out explosive plays 24/7. We know tackling. If you watch the games, you watch Washington games, you already know how bad this defense is. So it is what it is.
We're scoring defense.
It's all around the board. And Sam Howell ain't the reason for that.
No.
So So that's all I'm saying.
And but this is the last point I want to make before we get up out of here is this. Yeah. When you put a team like the Washington Commanders put a position in Sam Howell in a position where it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, and defenses can just blitz and send everybody and send all this stuff. That is where Sam Howell's in trouble, because teams, if you look at teams where Sam Howell had trouble, right, and look at teams, you have to go back to 3rd down plays, whether it was the New York Giants, whoever they played this year. Look at when the team was in 3rd and long, 3rd and 5 on. They sent the house to Sam Howell, and that's why this team was so terrible on 3rd downs and couldn't get off the field. And most of his sacks, when we look at Sam Howell, most of Sam Howell's sacks came on 3rd down.
Yeah. No, I'm saying
proven fact. Go check me. Come back next week. Most of the sacks that Sam Howell experienced or got came on 3rd down or 3rd and long situations.
Yeah.
Or 4th and long situations.
I understand. Like there's at least these situations are totally different. I'm not even talking about Stroud. I'm just talking about quarterbacks in general, young quarterbacks in general, who have even been successful. Like their situations are, you're not really asking them to carry the whole team. But anyway, I appreciate all the comments. We appreciate all the comments. And you know what I'm saying? Here on this show, this is cool debate. We're not trashing nobody. Not saying like, oh, this, that, and the other. Everybody's points here are valid. So I respect all y'all opinions. I respect your information. I mean, your comebacks, your thoughts, your opinions, because to me, like, we ain't nobody experts. I'm sick of people out here trying to trash somebody's opinion. Like nobody out here real experts or whatever. Everybody's opinions are validated or valid to me. So yeah, man, appreciate everybody for tuning in.
We just love the discussion, man.
We love to discuss, man. Love to discuss. Especially love the vent when the squad is so bad, right?
It's bad.
We love the vent. But if you're tuning in, make sure you subscribe to our podcast, our actual audio podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Just search All Burgundy and Go everything. Also, tweet us at ABG_everything. Hit us up on IG at ABG_everything. And like our All Burgundy and Go everything Facebook page. If you're watching this on YouTube and you just for the first time, hey, subscribe, man. Subscribe to us. Man, we appreciate y'all. Subscribe. Hit the like button for this video, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all the real MVPs. Anyway. Glenn, you anything you want to say before I let these people rock?
Yeah, man. Y'all have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, whatever y'all celebrate tomorrow, man. Enjoy your family, enjoy your time, watch some football, eat some good food. Don't worry about the Commanders. They will be what they are. It is what it is. But thanks for rocking with us, man. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. Like I said, the dialogue is great because, again, I think we all want to see this team be successful. I don't know how old you are, but I've seen this team successful in my lifetime, and I like to see them get back to that one day. So. I
think we all do. Me too, man. Anyway, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Anyway, you've been listening to All Burgundy and Go, everything powered by the Urban Sports Station and Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia. For ages. You dig? Deuces. We out.